Good morning. Today, I am delighted to take one of your questions in what we call our Ask Me Anything segment. Okay, this one comes from Jeff, who asked, what is the best approach to take with friends who I love for sure, but who are subtracting from my new way of thinking and attacking my focus on my growth and achievement? I know they mean well, but they still tease me about how I've narrowed my focus and I'm not into certain things anymore. I don't have the time or inclination to give up 6 hours on a Saturday to play golf or 4 hours to watch a football game every week, he says. Well, the first thing here, Jeff, is we know how you feel. Well, at least all of us here on Darren Daily know how you feel and what you are dealing with. It happens to all of us when you discover that you are a misfit. You are that rebel, the troublemaker, the round peg in a square hole, that you are that crazy one, the one who sees things differently. But Jeff, you should know, while most around you see you as the crazy one, we here at Darren Daily see greatness. There is such a common phenomenon for us strivers, those of us with the desire to be great, that I mentioned in the greatness interview. Let me remind you of that here.
So I will tell you, these strivers that I'm talking about, they often feel weird or out of place on a, let's say, sunny Saturday afternoon. They'd rather be hammering away on their craft, doing what they consider their art, than laying on a beach or poolside. A few days into a vacation, and their knee starts bouncing because they can't wait to get back to work. People around them do not understand. They often criticize them. They ask, why are you always reading those books, listening to those podcasts, watching that Darren Daily, or going to those seminars? They just can't relate. They simply don't have that same drive inside. They don't have that fire raging inside.
So Jeff and everyone else, at least know that here on Darren Daily, you are amongst friends. Friends who share a like mind and a like desire to be great. Now the question is, are you really willing to do what it takes to realize that greatness inside? And your associations will be a huge part of whether you do or whether you don't. Write this one down, Jeff, and everybody else. You can't hang on to who you were if you want to become who you aren't yet, but can be. You have to let go of the ring behind you to grab the ring in front of you. Let's remind ourselves of the critical importance of these choices here. Jim Rohn famously put it this way: you will become the combined average of the 5 people you hang around the most. You will end up with the combined attitude, the combined health, the combined income of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you are really going to go for it, if you're going to reach and stretch and do things you've never done before, if you're going to be able to achieve things you've never achieved before, you will need to reappraise and reprioritize the people you surround yourself with. All these relationships can nurture you or starve you. They can bolster you or keep you stuck. So I'll reiterate what Jim Rohn taught me about organizing my associations. Now, hey, you might have heard this stuff before, but when was the last time you actually took inventory of your associations? This organization of my associations exercise is something that I do regularly, or at least once a quarter. I evaluate who I spent the most time with and what adjustments I need to make going forward. So here are those categories to organize the people around you in. Number 1, disassociation. There are some people you might need to break away from completely. Now, I understand this might not be an easy step to take. I know, but it's essential. You have to make the hard choice not to let certain negative influences affect you anymore. You have to protect your house. What holds the most power over you and your family are the people that you let in your house. Decide the quality of your life that you want, and then surround yourself with the people who represent and support that vision. Again, I know it's not easy, but it's essential. Number 2, limited association. There are some people who you can spend 3 hours with, but not 3 days. Others you can spend 3 minutes with, but not 3 hours. I have some 3-minute friends, and I have some 3-hour friends, and very, very few 3-day friends. It's critical that you know which are what. Remember, the influence of association is both powerful and subtle. you get a deposit of their dominant attitudes, actions, and behaviors of the people that you spend your time with. And finally, and I think probably most important if you want to truly change the trajectory of your life, is number 3, expanded associations. Whatever area of your life you want to see improvement in, find someone who represents the success that you want in that area. The parenting skill that you want, the relationship that you want, the lifestyle that you want, and spend more time with those people. If necessary, join organizations, join different business groups, join mastermind groups, health clubs, where these people are, and make friends with them. Create a circle of excellence by purposely selecting those with whom you will surround yourself. You want to get a group that will push you faster and farther than you would have gone without them. So once again, that is the importance of showing up here to Darren Daily every morning, seeking groups like those who are the alumni of Insane Productivity and the alumni of the High Performance Forum. That's where you find these expanded associations that are so hard to find. So Jeff and everybody else, these are the hard choices that you have to make if you want to realize your greatness. Just understand that the path of the achiever can be a lonely one, because usually you're the only one in your family, in your office, in your neighborhood, in your church group, who is on the path. People around you won't understand you, and people mock what they don't understand. Let them be. The narrative of their movie is just different, and that's okay. But it is not okay to have it affect your narrative. And as the adage goes, while they may call you crazy, it is the crazy ones who change things, who push the human race forward. Because the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. So stay on your path, Jeff, and keep showing up here each morning. This is where all the crazy ones meet each morning before heading out to continue to strive for their greatness.
Hey there, Allie from the A-Team here. Well, you just heard Darren talk about the power of associations. You know, I think the hardest part about that, well, besides the process of disassociating with some of the anchors in your life, is finding which associations you should expand. You know, finding the crazy ones like you and me who are wholeheartedly committed to becoming better every day. Well, I want to help you out with that. So besides here virtually on Darren Daily, Darren mentioned 2 other places that you can make those life-changing connections. One is inside the Insane Productivity community, and the other is in Darren's Business Masterclass. Speaking of which, Darren starts a virtual business masterclass tomorrow. If you act right now, you can slip in right under the wire. Now, there are links to each of these resources below, so I encourage you to check them out if you haven't already, because who knows who you might meet that could completely transform your life and your future.